Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. My name is Carrie, and today we're going to work on vest for Western outfits. So this is a pattern. These are basically the same except for how tall this is. So when you have your rider, you want to make sure that it's right here is where it's supposed to be. It could be a little higher when they sit. It could be a little lower. Depending on what you're using them for, but usually it's right around here. The waistline is where this back ends, so that's the big difference between these two patterns. It seems that the rest of it is about the same as far as the neck, and then you need extra in the arms to make sure that it fits with sleeves. You have the diagonal type, and that's pretty common in like a decorative type of vest. You also have the circle here, the neckline here. That would be like for your bull riding vest. And then it's either going to be, you have to decide if it's going to be short cut like that, or if you're going to have the little tail. And you might want to modify this tail depending upon, the look that you're going for. And it's really the same for both the 6-inch and the 8-inch. All right. So you can make this out of either fabric or leather. Try to get a garment. You can use faux leather too. So you can do like a garment weight faux leather. Okay, we'll start with the 6-inch male doll. He'll be the easiest. I'm verifying that I like the length back here. And then should be right here at the shoulder. Goes around that collar, and then I decided to go with the point instead of the straight. So we can do this with glue. We want to make sure it fits correctly under the arm, but more importantly, we want to make sure we can close up here. So that's our first target, is the shoulder. And depending upon, this is a place where you can fit it. And that's really the secret to making these doll clothes, is to have it fitted. So I'm just going to glue it so that I only have 2 layers of fabric at the shoulder. I don't have 4. Because I already have 4 layers of fabric with the shirt. So if I get that where I want it to be, so that's going to fit. That's going to fit really good. And then I have my little point there. I may cut that off. You can change your mind to remove things. You just can't change your mind to add things back. All right, so now, yeah, he's got a pretty big collar, so we're gonna bring this around on this side, and I'll put this. Now if you want, and I might do that here, is you can pin this to the shirt. So you have exactly what it is, where it is you want that vest to be. And I want a little bit of overlap here in the front, so I could potentially put buttons there. And I already have buttons there, so we're gonna go ahead. I need to pin that, don't I? I didn't pin that. Okay, I got that where I want it. I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm really putting the glue just to the seam, so if I want to trim a little of that off, I can. Not really required. that's going to hit about right there. So now we'll do the same thing here. I mean, the arm's going to be there, so it's just going to look like a seam. Okay. Because you can actually do adjustments for the waist right there. So get the front where we want it. All right. Okay, the fabric I'm using here is a faux suede. So, and it doesn't ravel, which is good. I didn't have to treat the edges. So it's a knitted suede. You always have to just go play at a fabric store to find what it is you're looking for. And I don't want to be too okay. Now, if I don't like how loose that is, I still need to close this up here, right? So I give it some extra there. I can, if I wanted to, I could do a strap. Sometimes they do a strap, or you can do a dart here. And now I'll take a look at anything I might need to trim. So that armhole, I don't like the armhole, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that a little bit. And that's because I got this uneven, so I'm going to trim that. And then on this side, I'm going to trim that a little bit. And then on the sides here, I can trim a little bit this way. I'm going to trim a little bit this way. And then that didn't. There we go. If we want, we can shape that a little bit. We can take and pull this a little bit. Because sometimes there's pleats back here, that would be acceptable. And then pull that just a little bit more. And that would be fitted. So now I know what I want to do back here. This is the tricky bit. So you should mark it with a pencil. I'm doing an eyeball. Probably not a good idea. So it was about that much. You could sew it. Right now I'm going to try and just do glue. So I really should cut that off, but I'm just going to fold that over. Okay, so that's your faux suede. Okay, next we're gonna do this guy. So this is the beginnings of, it could be like a bull rider protective vest. This is leather. It's a garment weight, although it's really too stiff for that. Probably 1.5 ounce to 3 ounce. So we're going to, as we did with the other one. Now, because it's leather, I can't really pin it in place, right? So what I could do is run a pin like that, and then like that to hold it on each side. If I think that's where it's gonna go, I need it to be nice and tight in that armhole. So I just want to do something to kind of hold it. And then notice how I didn't do the diagonal, and I didn't do the diagonal here. So this is going to fit a little tighter. And again, we're just going to just enough to get that to attach. This guy's got more chest to him than the 8-inch doll. Every rider is different, you know. This is the classic TV Toys one. So we could probably skive that to make it lay flatter. I want to kind of pull it so it's like right at the seam of the shoulder. And looks best if the extra is pointing backwards. I want to make sure it matches. And again, my collar could be tighter. There we go. And now, so like the bull rider ones, they would have like a Velcro strap here. So you get some, you know, leather lace and fake that strap on both sides. It's usually zippered up the front, but it could be Velcro fastened that way as well. So you can put on whatever details, you know, for whatever bull riding vest you're trying to do. So now over here, it's going to be the same thing. These are not going to fit quite as tight. So I'm going to pull that pin and see it fits right where it's supposed to, especially with this pair of blue jeans. I could even pull it up just a little bit. And the thing is, you want it to be straight right here. And then however tight you want to make it. Black is kind of hard to see, but look here, you got plenty. And we'll probably trim some of that. So let's just put the glue straight down the seam of the shirt. And then we'll trim any extra. The reason this is important, get those armholes matching. To have a generic vest is that way you could do male, female, and gives you a lot more options. You don't have to go, buy another pattern. You should be able to modify this one based on the fabric and the doll. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of do the same thing here. I want to make sure that it's straight in the front, right? And then we'll use the seam of the shirt as the guide. Pull the back forward. Okay, and now it's ready for, you can either, it's tight, which it should be, try and make these kiss. You could have it kissing. I would probably just do like fake Velcro straps. They would also have like sponsors, stickers, or patches on it. So that's where you need to research, and then however you want to add those, whether you're going to paint them on or print out decals or whatever. But anyways, there you go. We're going to trim up the sides. And this is that forgiveness thing. You can make it looser if you want. And I've got to use some good scissors. Can't use my little scissors to cut leather. So just taking off any extra so it doesn't hang over. And that's about it. Adding details is the last thing. And that is entirely up to you. Let your imagination go wild. But there you go. That is your 6-inch Classic TV Toys Male Rider in a leather vest. So you can see it's pretty easy to do these. We're going to go ahead and do the 8-inch since she can be a real pain to fit. But she's going to be very much like the 8-inch male. So the 8-inch male, 8-inch female are going to be pretty much about the same. I would use fabric on them because you're going to have to do the pleat in the back to get a tight fit around the waist. And you really can't do that with leather. Leather's really hard to do the pleats or the dart on. So we're going to go ahead and, this suede is a fake suede, but it's really nice. And I've had it for a long time. And really starting to use it now with anything that's supposed to be leather or suede. So we're fitting her neck like we did before. We pinned the back on. Nothing new or different here. Now she's a little bit busty. So I'm going to go ahead and pin on the front where I want it. And we are fitting the armhole as we go. So we're trying to reach the shoulder, but we're fitting the armhole underneath. And just like the others, we've got the right side of the fabric out, and we're going to put the front over the top of the back, and the glue goes along the shirt seam line. So if there's any extra, you can trim it away. There we go. Pretty much pulling it tight. Got to watch out for glue on the fingers when you're dealing with any type of suede, whether it's fake or real. Okay, fit the other side. Remember, it's not just the shoulder we're fitting, but also the armhole underneath. So you have to make sure that's where you want it, as tight as you want it. And if you have to, pin things in place. There's no shame in that. See, like there, finally said, yeah, I can't play around with this. I need to pin it. This ultra suede is kind of hard to get through with pins, but it's a really nice fabric. I think I bought it thinking I was gonna, make, I don't know, a skirt or a vest for myself. many years ago. So I don't even know if Ultra Suede's a thing. I'll have to go check. Um, but it's really nice. It's comfortable. It's what I would consider garment weight. That lambskin for the 6-inch doll. I didn't really consider that garment weight, but it was said it was garment weight. I think that would be for a skirt or pants. I guess you could wear it as pants. Leather pants are not comfortable. Leather skirts are not comfortable. Yes, I have experienced those. Did not like them. All right, so now we got that. Now it took a little bit longer for the glue to dry. So you're going to have to get a feel for the different fabrics you use. How long do you have to hold your finger there before it actually takes? And this was just a little bit longer than the others, because you don't really want to be messing around doing what I'm doing right now if that glue hasn't set. Okay, so we're going to speed this up. We're doing the side now, trying to fit it, trying to pull it really tight so that I don't have to do a dart. It's not going to be as fitted as it could be, but I'm trying to avoid the dart. So here we go, getting that side on, pulling it tight. I'm actually pinning it in place because that glue's been fighting me on this fabric. Other side, pulling it nice and tight, putting the glue on, and then put another pin. That's a good idea. Okay, so now we have all these pins. We're going to let that glue kind of dry, but look, it fits pretty good right over her chest. And it's not so bad around her waist. If you really wanted to, you could go ahead and do the dart in the back. I'm not going to. I think she's going to look good just like this. Okay, I took it off to go ahead and trim off all that excess on the inside and the outside that I just don't need. Clean up the holes. I just took a little bit off the shoulder there. There we go. So we'll do the trimming, the cleanup, just like we did with the others. It's not that much different. It's just how tight you pull that. There you go. That is your 8-inch doll. I think she looks pretty good with those blue jeans and her suede vest. This is the felted doll with the chambray fabric. She fitted just like the guys. Same pattern. I used the 8-inch instead of the 6-inch for her because I gave her a long waist. She's going to be my Western side saddle doll, which is the reason why I made these felted dolls, is for side saddle. So I made her safety skirt, a little fringe on the side, and that's what the safety skirt looks like. Anyways, she's ready to ride. Thank you for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and you have yourself